friendly, interactive, and free, and taught in English and Spanish. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com. All right, you're listening to Mornings of Lone Star here on Lone Star Community Radio, irlonestar.com, worldwide, and of course, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. It is 9:05. We are broadcasting live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, and I have a special guest in with me this morning. That means we're on Facebook Live and YouTube Live also, so if you're listening, you can tune in that way. Just look up Lone Star Community Radio on YouTube and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. We have Andrew, my neighbor, in here with me. He is my, I guess you would call it my cubicle buddy. That's the way I like to describe it. We have Andrew in the studio with the City of Conroe. We have Cesar with the engineering department of the City of Conroe. And, of course, a regular favorite, Cheng from Kofe Nampong. I am going to say that the best I can, Son. Is that okay? Does that sound okay?
You get a pass.
You get a pass?
Yeah,
I tried.
You get a pass.
But today we're having a great discussion because we're going to be talking about the alley construction work that's happening in downtown Conroe. If you haven't noticed, there's been a lot of alley work because I would call it beautification is happening. And everything's getting simplified and less clutter in the alleyways to help businesses and also help folks move around downtown easier. I don't know if you've ever been to the alleyways when after, what's it called, Catfish Festival, there's string all over the power lines, and it looks a little dystopian. But now the power lines hopefully will be going away. I don't know. We're going to learn all about it. So feel free to ask questions on Facebook, YouTube, all right there. Mornings at Lone Star Community Radio. And let's start the discussion, guys. Let's hit the hard questions. Now, let's start with this one. All the alleys are being affected by this in downtown?
Yes, so we only have 3 alleys left. Well, and by alley, I mean we have alley, it's Jay's Alley that goes all the way from Cochrane to South Pacific, between Main and Pacific.
Yeah, I remember that one. That's a big one.
We have Jay's Alley, which is between Thompson and Main, and Simonton and Metcalf. That's alley number 2.
Okay.
And the third one, it's the Mason's Alley, which is also between Metcalf and Simonton, between Thompson and Newton. So those are the 3 alleys that are being worked on right now. Each, not at the same time, but those are the 3 alleys.
Yeah, because it's kind of something I was always wondering, because if people didn't know, the station used to be over right next to the Crichton Theater. And the alleyways are always like the best kept secret for people who have businesses down there, where we could like easily go between businesses and stuff. But it was never really like a public thing. And I'm guessing somewhere down the line, the city goes, hey, we can make this a little better for everybody. Is that what this decision was made?
That's what the city did a master plan for downtown.
Yeah.
And following the steps of other cities where they saw an opportunity to bring more visitors to downtown to help businesses and also participate in city activities. That one of the main reasons people visited is because they had a nice pathway, walkway where they can take pictures, where they feel safe going from one place to another, that it's not a street. So you don't have to cross streets when you're walking through the alleys, right? So they saw that opportunity, and that's how this project came to
and I imagine there's going to be phases to it because you have power, you got all sorts of... So I guess just no one really knows what stuff is in the alleys. Like you have a lot.
Yes, that's correct. And this project also has water, sanitary sewer, and storm sewer rehabilitation.
Okay.
So that's what they're focusing right now, installing a new sewer line, new storm pipe, and water line in some alleys. After they're completed with rehabilitating that's when the conduit for the telecoms and powers are going to be installed. And then once they finish installing the conduits through the whole Shepherd's Alley, that's when the power company is going to come and the telecoms to run their cables, and then we'll work with the owners doing the electrical stuff in the private side, and then we'll do the switchovers.
Yeah, because that's a lot of working parts.
Yes.
And one thing I do want to let folks know is that we did put a link in the description that basically, from what I understand, is kind of like the billboard for this project. It kind of has a little bit of everything. It kind of talks about the mission statement and then also how it affects the community. And that's actually why we have San in here, because he has several businesses that are backed up into the alley. And it's important to communicate with this guy right here because you know how San is. He's a big he's an influencer.
What I want to ask Son is how important is the alley to your business? And I know it is important. So what I'm really asking is for you to let people know that the importance of the alley to a business owner downtown.
Yeah. For us as business owner, I think all our trash is in the alley. And the most difficult things right now for us is trash pickup. They have to go through the alleyway, and there's power lines that's low. So we had Republic Services, who we use, would have to come in and look how they would pull in, back up, so they won't hit the power line when they dump the trash. And sometimes, actually, it's been multiple times that they have missed trash pickup. And I'm one where I like our area to be clean. You know what I mean? I don't want trash bags by the trash bin. And when we get skipped, that's what happens. And then when that happens, you got rats and stuff like that, pests. I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? And we're all about beautifying the city.
Yes.
When that happens, it's not beautifying the city. But I know that we have to go through these hard patches right now. But Republic right now, sometimes they're so hard to deal with. Getting through them, saying, "Hey, I mispicked up. Why did I get mispicked up? Oh, because there was something in the way, or we can't push the trash bin out into the alley enough to where our driver can pick it up." So, I think trash is the biggest thing right now for us as business owner. You know what I mean? Discarding our trash.
And right now, we're working with utility billing, who's in charge of the trash contracts, but with the other company. I think the
Waste management?
Waste management, yeah. With Republic, what you have, I think it's more direct contract between you, and so you don't have that middleman that it's the city. We try to work with the business owners when conflicts like that happens.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, they missed. It's like, okay, let's see what happens, and we'll try to get their trash pickup the same day. And we try to communicate. It's like, hey, we're working on this street, so alert your drivers that we're doing that. And we're also working proactively to relocate the trash locations temporarily through the project, so we can avoid these types of problems, in a way.
And that's what what Dick was talking about. The site up there is not only for the citizens, but for the business owners, for us to get the word out there. And this is the very infant stages of this. This is the first time that the city has done anything like this, where we want to keep you informed on capital improvement projects, but especially with this one, we can put up there that this weekend, be advised that this area will be either under construction or roadblocked or something, so that if you're coming downtown, you know, or business owners know, it might not be feasible to operate your normal hours if you're going to have disruptions throughout the weekend. You can start letting your customers know. So we want to get as much information out there as possible to help you guys better prepare. But the key is that it's not a long-term problem. These are all going to be fairly simple, temporary obstacles, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And it's growing pains, and it comes with any type of construction, any type of improvement. The best way to tackle those problems is communication. Let the people know what's going on, both business owners and visitors, residents, so they don't get caught off guard. Because if they see like a barricade on the street, it's like, oh, everything's closed. Like, well, no, that's not the case. The street, the sidewalks are still available to walk towards the businesses in those streets. And it might be that it's just a piece or half of street that it's being worked, so they can use the other half to, in the case of cars, to drive through.
I'm just happy y'all are doing something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, because to me that's a good sign.
Yes.
About the growth, especially in downtown, because downtown's old. and you can tell by some of the curbs are really high and some of the curbs are really low, and that's when you know it's an older town when the curb is 2 feet
Made
high.
for
It
the
is.
carriages and not the cars.
And for Son, what the big picture here is to make downtown more accessible for businesses to come in.
Yeah.
So that would increase the volume of
I rem-
traffic, visitors.
I remember
businesses.
the trash deal with you. I remember you were on the phone where you're showing me the new coffee shop, and I was like, "How do they get back here?" Like, because they were trying to figure out where to put it,
Yeah.
and where they actually put the trash,
bin.
the big
bins,
one,
the
not
big
just the bin, but like the actual.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Like the actual dumpsters.
Yeah, and it's a 16-foot wide alley. So
Yeah,
you
that's
can
what I'm
imagine.
saying. When he's on the phone, I'm like, "Where?" That's actually a good question. Like, how does this even work here? That's funny. But I guess they make you. I don't know. It's kind of magic, isn't
Yeah,
it?
trash is like one of the biggest thing for us because for
Well, for a restaurant.
yeah for restaurants,
restaurant.
especially ours, the volume that we do, we get picked up. We're looking at first we started once a week, and then we did it twice a week. But then at that we didn't know what day it has to be picked up, so we had to play around with it. Now we're looking at from twice a week to looking at 3 times a week, and they can only get so far with the trash bin on casters. Anything bigger than a 6-yard, you can't put it on a caster at all. And if you can't put it on a caster, they can't roll it out to pick it up. So that is the biggest thing right now. So I know I was talking to Cesar, I think sometime last week, and the city is definitely very helpful when it comes to trying to help business owner find a way to make it easy for us. I think you were looking at those Dolly for us because they're gonna have to relocate our trash bin on the opposite side of to Pacific, which note to self, I would never ever go with Republic again. Just saying, okay, because they are hard to deal with. Can't get in touch with my account manager when it comes to project like this. It is so difficult. Hey, are you talking to the city? What's going on? They're not. They're confused too. Where waste management, you guys are hand in hand, and now I regret not having waste management. So definitely, the city is definitely helping with trash.
Yeah, and on that note, you'll see some street fencing with screening.
Yeah.
And again, it's gonna be temporary. It might look a little bit weird or
I mean, you're
quote unquote
y'all are
ugly.
doing construction.
Yes,
It's going to be
so,
okay.
Just as a note to visitors, like, hey, it's a sign of improvement. It's
That's
like,
right.
hey,
That's how I see it.
it's like it's a good. It should be seen as
The
a
only
good
time
thing,
I get
but-
upset is when the park and rec's doing something the next day and they close it down the day before, and I'm like, why do they close it down? Now I can't even drive through here. Like, this isn't done tomorrow. But I understand it's for safety reasons. But
Yeah.
To me as a business owner is also having both the businesses sharing the same alleyway. I hope that I'm not the only one that's thinking this. But if just worst case scenario, I know that overnight
here we go.
when that switch happened, right? That everything is smooth sailing. Yeah. I'm just afraid that what if something happened and we lose power for a whole week? You know?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that didn't happen on the previous projects. So but
different contractor, right?
different contractor, different time, less load, less people.
Yep, less people. So now I'm thinking like, hey man, I hope that this is just one switch. You hit that switch and everything works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's-
it's highly unlikely. I mean, there's professionals working on it. We're working really close with Entergy and with the design engineers. So that's really not likely.
Okay.
Again, it could be for other reasons, but I don't foresee the project will be the issue if something like that happens.
Because I know the coffee shop got I don't know what the heck it is, but it has those boxes all in the coffee shop in the back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? What are those?
Well, I know that in your kitchen there's a electrical meter. So part of this project will relocate the meter itself to the alley, to the walkway. I think it'll still have an electrical box there, but not the meter.
Not
And
the
it's just
meter.
it's just because back then, I don't know if they did addition to the building with or without permits, or
it looks a little bit without permits when you go
Yeah.
back there. Yeah.
again, I don't think Entergy would have approved a electrical meter inside the
I like
building.
it. Yeah,
Man, I don't know how that happened. On
But-
it's got to be grandfathered in or something.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Were you here when when they're remodeling the Crichton and they knocked over the wall and it fell against the building?
Oh,
That
next
was
to
like what, a couple
202?
years ago?
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah.
Talk
When
about
they
being
did
shut
that
down.
addition.
At least, I don't think we had a restaurant in the building though, so they didn't have to shut down because I know like the gas, something like it was crazy. Where I'm sitting in the radio station, all of a sudden I see a dust cloud, and I'm like, that's weird. And then I go outside and the walls just fell over and there's a huge crack, and I'm like, this is a 1-story building? Can they collapse? Like I was kind of nervous a little bit because you never know.
And I think you can see that on Google Earth if they haven't updated the
Oh, they
Really?
really?
view. You see that the wall is falling down next to it when they were building that addition.
This one guy on, I guess, on a forklift went, "Oops!" and it just nailed the wall, and it just fell over. But that's not what's happening here. Because
No,
one thing I'm impressed with is the sections y'all are doing it in. Because, some people, especially like San's alleyway, that's a long alleyway, where the barbershop starts.
Yes.
And then also, I guess.
In that
I think that alley has the most business.
that's the
activity
most
there.
challenging alley through the whole project, just because you also have
You had the Crichton Theater behind an alley. I know that.
no, well, that's the next block.
Well, yeah, I just meant more of like I'm trying to
Yes.
give people a location for businesses.
Yes.
Like these are the alleyways.
And each alley has its own difficulty. With the Crichton, it was,
Yeah.
they need access for their performance because they use
And then Homestead's not
old-
there anymore,
those-
is it?
which-
Homestead? They're not there.
No.
no.
Oh, thank goodness. That guy would be calling you.
So yeah, and we're working also closely with the new developer of that business
Yeah.
because they kind of need the power and the transformers to come down in order for them to go higher on that building.
Yeah, actually, you're talking
So-
about like the lofts and stuff. Is that what that? I don't really know what it is. I see a picture of it, and I'm like,
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
think
say
it's
what
gonna
it is. It
be,
just says Lindsay.
Yeah, I think
That's it.
the bottom, the first floor is going to be offices,
Oh,
and,
cool.
and the second floor is going to be
See,
like
this is all about
apartments
growth.
And
It's all about
And so when
growth.
we get to that point, how much of the alleyways are going to be pedestrian traffic?
so right now there's no plan to close them permanently. So it's going to be open for not through traffic, but the people who use the owners of the businesses and like the theater. So they have access. The alleys are not like any alley. It's not for regular use to cut through the streets, right?
Well, okay.
Oh, so cars can't go there anymore
No, they can't.
after the project.
After the project, they'll still be able to. There's no this project doesn't tackle that closely.
That's where
completely.
San parks.
yeah, that's
We-
what VIP parks.
That's
are.
VIP parking for them.
So yeah,
The
but
police know them by name.
So when we're done with this project,
Yes.
it's still going to be business as usual that the alleys are utilized for
Yes,
trash,
for trash.
pickup, deliveries.
some
There's
businesses
no
have parking
plans
in
to
the back.
have
Right now, no. I mean, there's
Okay.
talks, there's a vision, but this will bring one step closer to that idea, that vision.
Okay.
There's still more things that need to be addressed, like the trash, the location,
Right.
and that's a different project. And the new downtown manager will work closely with the business
Oh,
owners
that's right.
and
They got a
city
new guy.
council.
Did he start
And-
today?
The
think last
downtown
week.
manager we hired started on Thursday, which is the
Okay,
first day.
nice. Well, one thing, Cesar, I kind of need you put this in a big picture mode in my mind now.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about where Homestead House and someone purchased it and they're building 2 stories.
Yes.
And part of that build out would have to be like, we got to fix these alleyways. So the beautification project for the alleyways, does that allow more flexibility for developers and for the city to maneuver if they need to maneuver something within downtown?
Yes. Again, it allows developers to go higher.
Yeah.
Because right now they can because of the big transformer box.
Yeah.
It's right there in the property line, and they cannot build for safety reasons. Correct. and it'll
Water
open
pressure, too,
The
right
water
now.
pressure,
Yeah.
yeah. We're installing a new 10-inch water line
Oh,
as part of this
whoa.
project, so it will improve fire safety in the area. And
Plus, the power sucked over there in that corner. I don't know what it was. Like, with the wind blew, power's out.
oh, so yeah, it will help with power reliability.
That's good.
If you go down there and look right now, that all those power lines are leaning.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah,
like
Oh no,
goodness,
I've hung out back there because behind the studio, like, especially when Catfish Festival, they just pick up all the trash from the festival. Like, you could just see it, and I was like, man, that kind of stings. Whose job is to clean that?
I think last year we had, I think it happened 3 times where the transformer blew in our alleyway. One where Red Brick was at, that alleyway right there, and then twice in our alleyway. And within the same week, I blew twice. The
Because
transformer.
someone hit it.
No, I don't
just
think-
the
It
load.
just blew.
Oh, okay. I figured
the
it'd be
weather or just the.
I know it's weird. Because in that corner where the station used to be, it'd just be like it'd be a normal day, and then the power's out, and they're like, "Oh, we'll be back up in 6 hours."
Wow.
And it was just a normal occurrence, like every once a month.
Is your project going to improve that?
It should, yeah, because it will be new cables, new transformers.
And it's
so
underground,
it should-
right?
Yeah, underground.
So it's gonna be completely,
So-
yeah.
I don't think we have had issues with flooding in this area, so
No.
it won't be affected by floods.
Now they came in and did the drains. I feel like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah,
They
and
re-
we're updating, we're lowering them as well, so we can lower the sanitary sewer and improve.
well, don't lower the curbs because that's really entertaining to watch people crush their bumpers. No,
I see that all the time.
It's-
See that?
it
I
is-
see all the time. They just no matter what kind of car you have, nice, hoopty, whatever. They just feel like they need a front camera to know when to stop.
Yeah.
And then when you hear the, oh, I gotta stop.
See a couple people twisted their ankle.
Oh yeah, someone fell right in front of the studio one time, and I were on the air, and I started laughing. It was really inappropriate.
That's so
And
wrong.
there's a speaker right there outside too, and I was like, "Oh, someone just fell." And but yeah, that was a long time ago. That was before I was, I've changed. But yeah, so outside of the alleys, is there something? Because you said there's basically 3 alley projects going on. Is there? Because there's a lot more than just 3 alleys. I feel like in downtown Conroe. So, because I know there's one. Would you consider that an alley next to the parking garage in the courthouse? Is that considered an alley?
Next to the
Yeah.
It is.
This is right here.
It's a walkway. It's like a breezeway.
Okay, but it's like, because it's not like the alley behind.
But there's no electricity there, right?
Yeah.
I don't see no wires.
I don't
there.
even
No,
know if
I think they
there's
already
garbage
did that,
there.
or power never went through it. And when they did the street side, they put a underground a pad mounted transformer there, because you see the big green transformer.
Yeah.
I think it's Maine, or no, not Maine.
I don't know what road that. Yeah, but see, this to me is kind of like the first step. Is there any other major projects down the line you think for outside of just doing the alley work and beautification
Well,
of
this
downtown?
is the last phase of the power lines.
Yeah.
Because back in early 2000s, we had power lines throughout on the streets, Maine, Thompson, San Jacinto, and this alley project, it's the last on its kind to bring the power lines in the central historic district downtown. We do have other projects along other areas, other districts in downtown, like the Homestead, I think, on the Tanglewood area north of Lewis. So we're rehabbing the streets there. We added sidewalks east of Pacific on 105. You now see on Davis and Pacific.
Really?
Yes, and Lewis, not Lewis, Davis and Phillips. We have sidewalks now, so we're improving mobility in
I
downtown.
got a question for you. You're engineering. Why is there the little median island right now on Davis, all through the city? Why is that?
So I think TechStat did a study, and they decided to include those medians to improve safety when turning. I know it's an inconvenience for some to go to the next intersection to do a U-turn.
I don't think there's one person who likes them.
No, there's not. The thing is, it was safety.
It was safety.
They did the studies on the safety. those medians protect people from injuring themselves, because it's inevitable that someone's going to see and think that they can dart across.
There's
it.
a guy in Texas that hates business, like one particular
it's not.
business.
Oh my God, that's it. So this is a good argument. It's a valid argument, because sometimes you do, but like the alleys, this is a temporary inconvenience. The construction of it, once it's in place and you get used to it, then it becomes the norm. You know it's there. You know where you need to go. And
It's worth it. See, the medians I didn't see worth it, but this I see worth it.
And the traffic, the volume of traffic on those roads, and with the growth of Conroe, eventually it's going to get to a point where you have to have that. So as they're doing it now, they're preparing for as we grow even more. Is it fun? No. And you're all on I Love Conroe, and you all read the comments, and you all know.
I love it.
Know what the theories are, but the bottom line is,
I want to buy a truck just so I could drive over them.
if you can prevent one death, by putting those in place, and it's a lot of people that just.
What happens if it caused a death?
I see it could cause
Because people
that
are
too.
horrible drivers.
It's a
I'm
median.
kidding. I'm kidding.
No, it's like you have to wait in line to make that U-turn, and because the traffic is so bad, sometimes you can never make that turn.
I definitely saw somebody go in the wrong one.
Oh wow!
I've definitely seen that.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
No,
I like
you've got a good point. They, if anything, might want to do a study on who controls the traffic signals. How long?
Cesar.
How long,
no, not Cesar.
He's in his truck.
Just like
Too damn long. Bam.
There's
red
some
light for everyone.
Yeah, there are some intersections that you feel like you could alleviate traffic just if the lights were coordinated a little more timely.
Yes, and we have sensors, we have radars on the traffic signals. I think right now they're still being worked on because the project is still ongoing. But once they finish, our guys at Public Works will go in.
That's
and
cool.
work on
I
that.
was always curious about that light. Their signal. Sometimes I was always told if you high beam the lights, it'll change.
I don't think that works.
No?
Like,
Where's the sensor? Is it on a road?
Just keep trying.
It's on the pole, so you'll see it's kind of like a white rectangle, and it points to where.
Why is it sometime where it's like some lights are very long and there's no car coming?
Well, might be
Can
something
we
wrong with the
report
sensor.
that? Can we report that?
Yes, you send an email or call Public Works, and they'll go and see an assessment to see if it's working correctly.
That's pretty cool. I kind of forgot about that. Like you can do the 411 or.
Can we give them your number? Can we put your number out on the radio?
Your cell phone number?
Cell phone number.
But I'm really excited about this project you're working on, Cesar. The alleyways can be really cool. This is because I've been down here for 10 years.
Yeah. And it's not just me. It's the whole city. We have.
Well, I don't think you're the one drilling and doing everything.
No,
but
He's the one that's getting heat. Believe me, everybody's getting mad at him.
I believe it.
The thing with the
people
whole
downtown
project,
are weird.
The thing with the whole project, like you were alluding to earlier, is it's for the big picture. The alley is a very small part of a larger picture of what they're trying to do with downtown, with the new downtown manager and everything that Frank Robinson, who left as downtown manager, he had some great plans. And I mean, we presentation after presentation, and hopefully the new manager will pick up on that. But to work with the businesses, the community, the events. I know Sound has a lot of events that go on throughout the year. That we want to bring traffic downtown. We want to make it more accessible, easier to find, easier to navigate. We want it family friendly. We want it to be adult friendly. Adults can come down and have the more social hours in the evening.
Yeah.
But that's the same with the 105 or any capital improvement project going on right now. That's the city looking at how are we going to improve the city with the growth that we're experiencing. And we all know the growth is tremendously more than what any city would be prepared for. So
that's always going to be the case, though. I think you're always playing catch up. You're never gonna.
I hope that this will get us even. And now that I don't want to get into the budget, but the budget right now, and I'll put it out there. The city council's logic to the budget right now is let's stop growing and putting money into growth, and let's take that money and sustain what we have. So everything that we've built, everything that we have put in place into Conroe, we need to make sure that we take care of that and sustain it, and not focus on let's spend more money to build more, develop more, grow more. Let's just what we have. Let's make sure that we make it.
Well,
perfect.
especially downtown is such a unique piece of Conroe because there's so many aspects to Conroe. You have the lake, you have this side, then you also have because Conroe's really big.
And now Grand Central's growing out there. There's a lot going on.
But especially with downtown, there's always the opinion of what needs to happen in downtown because everyone has their own opinion. And my opinion is it's pretty great. The only thing I don't really get because I have bad eyesight is the lighting situation. That's the only thing I can never really how do you solve that? Because the lights at night, it's more of like a parking garage than like an actual going for a walk lighting. Does that make sense?
So it's too bright?
Well,
That's what you're saying?
Well, you're in a parking garage, and it's not like aesthetically pleasing when you want to go for a walk.
Oh,
Like Fort Collins.
Yeah.
The Fort Collins has a very aesthetically pleasing, say, not Christmas lights, but lights that hang.
They hang.
You know what I'm talking about, Son? Do you feel that way? Like if you're walking to your car, it's more of...
So street lights.
I don't know how to put it.
When they install
I
those,
don't think it's bright enough.
Well, that's what I meant more. If it feels like we're in a parking garage.
It's really, really dark. You know what I mean? I think the lights could be brighter. We have to compensate where we actually have to put our own lights on there. So when people walk underneath the awning, they know it's not that dark. Before I moved in there, we had a lot of people say, "Oh man, it's so dark to walk by yourself in the alleyway." I was like, "Well, we're not in the hood or anything, so you shouldn't feel that way." But people that's coming from out of town or visiting, they won't know that. You know, they know it's just dark. I think that we should improve with lighting. I'm not sure.
I don't know how though. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to complain without having a solution.
Yeah,
but I don't have.
We are going to install extra conduit in the alleys just in case for future, if we decide to install more lights in the alley, we will have that already installed and we don't have to tear everything.
Not parking garage, parking lot.
Parking lot.
Like when you go to Six Flags.
Are you talking about the alley or just walking
I'm just
downtown?
talking downtown because there's the lighting is sparse.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden you're by 202, but if you go across the way on the other side of the Owen, it's like pitch dark, and you're like, well, if I'm parking over here, I need to be able to see if that makes because people park all over here.
Yeah. Here's the issue too. Right now, we're starting to see more and more, and I know this is from personal experience from family. The alleyway now, there's a lot more homeless people. I've seen one person that slept in the alleyway. There's another one that I've been eyeballing, and he has approached us, well, not me, but my daughter, asking for her phone number, our team member, just crazy stuff. And from traveling through alleyway, especially from one business to the other, I feel unsafe for them to walk by themselves. You know what I mean? Especially at night if they need to pass down inventory or whatever, bring containers. We don't know who's in the alleyway. It's too dark. You know what I mean? That's our only concern right now, is that there's way too many homeless that's walking around, and they go roam free. I just feel like they're...
It's because it's so nice.
Yeah, it is. Hey, it is. But man, just I have kids, and I'm afraid for them to walk by themselves. They have to walk in front of the
They
stores.
can call me.
They can call you.
And I'll walk them.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Always here available. Hey, thank you for the coffee, by the way. It's really good. People need to check it out. I put a link to the coffee shop.
I appreciate that. Yeah, come check us out. We're open 7 days a week. So,
which is really important for me for downtown Conroe because I'm here 7 days a week, and I'm really pissed off when all the restaurants are closed on random days. And I'm like, why? Why would you be closed? But he's open up 7 days a week. No.
No, we don't need a rest.
This is downtown, man. Downtown never sleeps.
How many businesses do you have downtown? How many? Not even brick and mortar, but what all do you
like in the vicinity?
Yeah.
So I have the automotive shop that's in downtown on Fraser, and on Fraser, North Fraser, a block off West Davis. Then I have the food truck there as well. Then on Simonton, I have Dragon Bowl, and on Main, I have the coffee shop. So what is that?
So he's involved in downtown. So that's
where do you spend most of your time?
Downtown.
You don't say the coffie shop is where you can find me, or where can we?
No,
find
you can find me in downtown. Right now I'm 7 days a week at the coffee shop. So I'm there. I see the flow. I see people have an issue with parking all the time. I think that there has to be a solution. And I know this probably off topic with electricity, but I think the biggest problem is the parking. And we do have a parking garage that people are not utilizing.
Yep.
Where?
And I right there in that alleyway. What is that alleyway? Right? No, is it?
You mean right here by Heritage Place?
The back one off Main?
Or the one
if you're
by
driving
the
down
Baptist
Main
Church.
Street?
No, not that one.
The one right here. You're talking about the
jury
one.
parking?
Is it Jury's parking?
I think it's
yours
Main
parking.
Street. Yeah.
That's the city parking, right?
Yeah, it's open.
I feel like
People don't know that they
People-
can park there.
There's a giant sign on it that says
there's
parking.
Yeah, people know, but I
people
feel like
don't see it.
people are very lazy to park in a parking garage and walk. You know, you go to a different city, you don't mind, like if you go to Riverwalk, you don't mind paying for parking and walking 4 or 5 blocks to get you to your destination. You know what I mean? I don't understand why it's so inconvenient for people to park in a parking garage to come in to the city square. I mean,
You're dealing with Conroe
They
people,
might
man.
not know. We might need to do a better job letting
hey,
them know.
we're
that
live
they
right
can
now.
use
There's a
that.
question right there. Do you guys know about that parking garage?
There's
free?
There's a giant sign on it.
Well, I can see how you would misinterpret that as a government
Oh,
garage,
yeah, no,
like you're
yeah.
only that's only government employees or jury. I don't think people understand that it is a public. Public can use it.
So let's just put a poll up on I Love Conroe and see if they know about that parking garage that's open to the public.
Yeah, because the other one's closed to the public. So I guess that's why.
Which
they,
one is closed to the public?
This one right here.
Yeah, the one by the Baptist
Is
Church.
that the county one?
It's county and
I think it's
city.
yeah, it's a
We
combination.
share.
Yeah.
Okay. What about after hours?
After hours.
It's closed. I think it has a gate.
I think it's open when there's events, I believe.
Because
Because the
I
first
gave up
3
going over there.
floors are reserved for employees, and then the rest, the overflow, is for
So the county,
open
right?
when- yeah, but I think when there's events, it's open.
So we have
we might
that,
want to check that.
the jury's parking lot
Yeah.
behind Jay's alleyway, whatever, right there. And then you have the Owens, that parking.
Behind Owens,
Yep.
mhm.
And then you have that parking garage. I feel like we have way more than enough parking
Yeah.
Yeah,
in downtown.
and the city has added parking lots next to the railroad also
Yep.
to help.
And everybody
businesses
still
and-
complain, including
And
myself.
A lot of people don't even know about the parking garage underneath the 45.
Yeah.
The parking ride
Yeah.
that they can park.
I didn't
there.
even-
That's
I
a
didn't
longer
even
walk,
know.
but we used to have a.
Is there a way you can get
historic-
picked up?
For events, we would work with DeAndre. You guys all know DeAndre.
Yeah.
We'd
Yeah.
work with DeAndre over at Transportation for the, what was the 4th of July?
Celebration.
Stars and Stripes
Yeah.
celebration.
Yeah.
We had it coordinated where we would do pickup. And we do that with major events with DeAndre. We say, we're going to have this event. This is going to be the designated parking. You'll have shuttles rotating through there. And I believe I'm not going to give you the numbers, but they were pretty impressive, the number of people that use that for the Stars and Stripes. But we've had smaller events that were specific where the parking would be an issue. So we would designate an elementary school as a parking and then have him pick up and transport to the event. But that's an option. If there's ever anything happening, we have more than enough parking. We just need to coordinate how to utilize it.
For special events. We do have more than enough parking, but for daily, for people trying
that
to come
parking
in
garage is
to
rarely
eat
ever
at the
full.
restaurants, you know what I mean? I think the biggest issue is during business hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Monday through Friday, during business hours, there's never parking. People don't know that the parking garage can be utilized. But even if they utilize the parking garage,
It's inconvenient.
people are lazy to walk.
And it's hot.
We are looking for a business that's willing to do some VIP parking and shuttle people to the parking garage. That'd be nice. But yeah, it's still a distance.
Yeah,
We're
you
not.
get
I don't think
downtown
we're,
valet service.
The bicycle.
I don't think we're a
You
main
see
attraction
Trolley
yet.
or the
We're not a main attraction.
No,
yet.
and that's exactly what Cesar and his group is doing, is trying to get us start preparing to become the main attraction. But
So
then
is this in a 40-year plan?
Ooh, I think this is its own plan, the downtown development plan.
So the the alleyway wasn't in the 40-year plan, right?
I need to check that. I don't remember.
Do you really expect him to know the entire plan?
He's an
Some
engineer.
of them.
So what else do the citizens in Conroe should look forward to? Do you guys know about the 40-year plan?
I feel like you're making it up.
No, there's a 40-year plan in the city of Conroe. Remember, we were talking about
Are we going
that?
to space by then?
No,
Or what's,
I hope not.
What's the
but
plan?
There's a 40-year plan where they were trying to beautify downtown and what they're going to do. As far as like the city park, that was one of them. Dog park or something in the square. There's so many things that they're going to add on to it.
Yeah, because you might be talking about like the parks plan. You have the downtown plan. Then you have the water master plan, sewer master plan. So I don't know if you're talking like a city master plan or a department specific plan.
But a 40-year,
But he doesn't
I'm
know.
gonna
He
ask
doesn't
about that. The 40-year plan. It sounds like it would be logical. I've just never heard it mentioned.
Yeah.
We can look it up too.
No, I don't want to validate that.
But yeah, no, I'm
This is my logic. Is in 40 years, everything we're doing today is going to need to be redone.
You'll have new development, more businesses.
32
or
story.
it could be 20-year plan. I don't know. It might be a 20-year plan.
Well, what do you think is going to be the tallest building in Conroe then? You think we're going to build one even taller than the tower? The one we're in right now?
In 40 years? Oh yeah.
You think so? I don't know how that works. So.
With the growth rate that we're experiencing right now, we're going to have. We might be between here and Huntsville a city, skyscrapers all the way to Huntsville.
Are you just saying that? Are you just saying that? I'm like, you said
40-year plan.
I don't know.
Well, you think about why they're putting the new fire station out there, because the growth that I have heard that mentioned.
Conroe's huge.
Between in the not too distant future, Huntsville and Conroe are going to slowly grow together until they become one. That's why we're having to start thinking about what we're putting out there, getting the fire stations to start preparing to serve those areas. We're not a city in Houston, the Houston metropolitan area where you're a city, you're locked by other cities. We're a city that we have the room to grow. So we have to, the 40-year plan, if it's not there, we're going to put it there.
I love it.
We're going to put this on 40-year plan.
Well, let's, again, the link is in the description talking about the alleyway project. And this is something that the city wants you guys to be aware of what's going on in downtown Conroe. And, of course, Son, who owns several businesses in downtown Conroe, it's just about communicating and letting Son know, hey, you got to move your trash can. So, but is there anything else you guys want to talk about with the downtown?
The coffee shop. I think there might be a misconception when people say coffee shop. What if I wanted to go there and get lunch?
you can get lunch there.
What all do you have at the coffee shop?
We've been improving our menu. We have more than just coffee. We have sandwiches. We have the chicken curry that we released this past on Saturday. We sold out when we released the item on Saturday. We sold out that day, and then Sunday you could pretty much say we sold out too, because I only make a certain amount each day because I don't want to waste food. And if it sell out, it sell out. So yeah, we're always improving our menu. We have chicken curry. It's inspired by Cambodia and Laos flavor. We also have a brand new item called the crispy fried rice shrimp balls, which is really, really good. We're always looking for a way to improve our menu. We're looking at other people's menu, see what they have and what they don't have. And we add on things that they don't have. Things that inspire me is going on Instagram, looking at people's food pages and seeing that how can I imitate that or recreate that and make it my own. Like the chicken curry, I told my wife was a little upset. She was like, this is how you make curry. I was like, look, okay, just show me how to make curry and let me improve it my way, okay? And she was upset. I was like, well, you shouldn't even be calling it curry then if you're going to do it your own way, you know what I mean? It was like, just show me the base, but it is really, really good and creamy. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we can take things and improve it. There's always room for improvement. Just like the alleyway.
That's what Cesar. Good segue. Cesar was looking at other cities on Instagram, checking out their alleys, seeing how can we improve ours.
I mean, it's one of those things that's it's funny to think about because you don't really think about it ever, and then when you decide to think about it, like, oh, there's 1,000 things we can do to improve this thing, and it's really easy too. So, and that's one thing I guess we got to kind of say is the alley project really, in the scope of things, isn't that long. For time consuming, like you're shutting down something for like a day to a week, right? Or is it 24/7 on site you're working, or is it more of we're just working during the day?
Well, it's gonna be once the switch happen, we'll probably do it after hours, so the impact will be minimum to the business owners.
Would it be complete this year?
No, this year 2023, no.
Will an alleyway be completed?
Oh,
this
an
year?
alleyway.
Those
We'll
three
probably,
that
yeah,
you're talking about.
the Shepherd's Alley. We'll
Which one is that?
the one behind you.
So that will be completed
So-
this year.
No, I'm not saying that. We'll probably be in the final stages because, again, it encompasses a lot. We don't know what's going on underneath
The labor, the materials. I
The
mean,
city doesn't run energy either.
If there's
So,
an
I'm
emergency
telling them.
with energy, that they'll have to go and help another community because of a hurricane or a natural disaster.
Okay.
Then that delays a little bit, but that doesn't mean our guys are going to stop. They can jump into the other alley to work and prep it to the switch over.
Okay, so what you think next year?
Probably next year, end of next year, I think.
The end of next year? Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. A lot of
That is the end of next year. So how much was the total cost of this project?
well, it's budgeted 6.3 million. It's budgeted. That doesn't mean
Is that going to go
it's
up?
gonna yeah.
And that
Or-
6.3 million, is that from taxpayer? Like we pay our taxes, sales
Well, that's
taxes,
a
stuff
capital
like that.
improvement. I don't know how that the finance work. So I can answer that.
So that goes
so
to the who's the finance
Finance.
guy?
Colin.
Colin. Bush.
Colin.
Let's
It'll
get
be for
Colin in
Colin.
here.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
put him in the hot
Colin, if you're
seat.
watching, please, we would love to know.
You know what? I will ask him. I'll ask him
Yeah,
Well,
because
this is-
where
there's-
the money
there's-
came
I
from.
mean, this isn't something that y'all just decided to do yesterday.
No,
So
it
this
was
has been in the works.
2019.
Yeah, this
since
has been in the works
2019.
for a while.
Yeah, and
So-
again, it started with the power poles and the lines in the streets, and they decided to leave these to the best people. So,
I like
can
it. No,
shine.
there you go.
No, but yeah, this is the last leg of the. Of
I
this
think it's great.
project,
I
so-
love it, and I think downtown needs to have this kind of mentality going, even if it's just small little projects. Like, hey, we're still improving. We're going to keep improving. We're going to keep
Yeah.
improving.
And again, we're trying to make it more, trying to get people in downtown, and by making it more visual friendly and giving opportunities to businesses to utilize the alley in a different way, not just for trash or to do transport inventory from one place to another. Because I know that your coffee shop has a like small little patio area.
Like,
that-
no, yeah. Oh, what
Yeah.
would you call that?
I call it a patio.
breezeway patio.
No, yeah, a little
I mean,
I mean, you have to mow
courtyard,
it.
like a little
courtyard,
right?
yeah. Once this is finished, I mean, the potential for that courtyard, it could be anything for you.
So on what kind of pavement, what kind of ground you're gonna lay in the alleyway?
We're gonna have pavers behind, between Davis, so where Carmelitas,
Yep.
between Carmelitas and Moco Food Hall, that's gonna be pavers.
Like like on
And-
Simonton right now,
Yes,
like that.
yes.
Okay.
And on Jay's Alley is gonna be pavers as well.
Do you have a city that's recently done this that we can direct people to look at and kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like?
So I recently went to Fort Collins, and they have a downtown project going on there, and they have pavers on their alleys and sidewalks, so you can check that out.
Fort Collins, Colorado.
Fort Collins, Colorado.
What are pavers?
Pavers are bricks.
Bricks.
Oh,
the ones
tight.
the ones that they're on the sidewalk around
Yeah.
downtown.
You know Simonton?
It's going to be fancy for an alleyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to improve
That's a little too
the
fancy, in my
aesthetic
opinion.
and to promote pedestrian.
I
and
said
then
I
they
like
can-
improvements, but not that big of an
So
improvement.
those
guys.
pavers right there, are those sitting on an alleyway right now?
The ones that they took from the street.
Oh, is that
Or-
from the street? That's on the.
Yes.
Okay, I was like wondering. I was like, what is that? Are they gonna lay that on there?
Yeah, so they took some pavers out of the street because they're working on the sanitary sewer and storm on Simonton.
Yeah.
So they're gonna reuse those.
Yes.
Why do you want some bricks or something? I'm trying to figure out where you're going with
No, I'm
this.
just like I'm looking at that. I was like, man, I hope no one do nothing stupid with those bricks. You know, pick them up and
Yeah.
throw them at the windows or anything like that.
Okay. I mean, we'll
That's
let
my
our
only concern, you know?
contractor know.
My
So
only concern.
thanks for raising that concern. We'll talk to the contractor and make sure that they're not just laying around in the street and they're in a safe area.
That's true. There's some wacky people
Or
sometimes.
covered. Yeah, I don't think you have that here.
Oh, last week there was this homeless guy that was on Corner Pub. You know those pot that Leanne has?
Yeah, the concrete pots.
Yo, he was just pushing them over. Yeah, and it was broad daylight during business hour, and he was flicking off some of the business owners. And then my daughter came to the car. She was like, "This guy's just flicking people off, and he's knocking the thing over." And I went out there trying to look for this guy. I was like, "Where is he at?" So just, why would he do that?
I don't know. But next time, film it. We'll put it on the air. No, I'm just kidding. Well, Cesar, Andrew, guys, thank you so much for coming up and answering questions. I look forward to having you back in to update us because I'm really excited about this project. I think it's a very good. Me personally, I think it's a great thing, and especially with the idea of developers can actually build a second story. I didn't even think about that. So when you replace those power lines, that gives you like unlimited.
More real estate,
like to me, that's what downtown really needed.
Well, and power and water. A lot of people don't think about it. That
There's water
They have
and
to
sewer.
make it so that water can get to a third floor of a building. Right now, they don't have the water pressure, so if they start building up.
So there you go.
You
And
gotta
then
be able to get water up there.
Zahn, your coffee's delicious. Thank you so much. I'm excited about trying your new food items if they're not sold out.
That curry, I think you would like it because you love heat.
Yeah, I love heat.
So the curry,
Your wings are probably some of the best wings in the area too.
appreciate that. If you haven't had our wings, please come on through. We have some crispy
And I'm not gonna,
Korean style wings.
I'm not
too.
gonna lie, half the stuff I order from you, I don't know what it is.
So, I
It's,
can't tell you.
I'm just like, sure, I'll try it, whatever it is.
It's just whatever
I'll do
we
it.
find in the alleyway right now.
Thanks.
Get it before it's gone.
Here, Dick's in here. Dick, give him the Dick special.
Caesar's getting rid of all his menu items.
I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Again, I put links in for the coffee shop and also for this project for the alleyways. So keep an eye out on your city, especially when they're improving your city. And check out downtown Conroe. Come on down and check out the coffee shop and all that kind of stuff. We're going to get back to the music here on Mornings of Lone Star. Again, guys, thank you so much for being here. It was a lot of fun to have you guys on. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you.